I believe forgiveness is very, very important. And like I said, some people read the Bible, some people read other books. But I believe it says that if we don't forgive, neither will we be forgiven. So a lot of us are asking for forgiveness, but we're never being forgiven because we don't forgive. And just like hate, forgiveness is a silent killer. So in the physical realm, we call high blood pressure the silent killer because you will not have any symptoms at all, and all of a sudden you can wake up and just drop dead from high blood pressure. And that's what unforgiveness is likened to in the spiritual aspect. It's a silent killer. You may think you're doing everything right in this life, and you may think that you have a reward waiting for you, or you just may be doing things good because you're a good person, but you still have unforgiveness in your heart. So therefore, it'll be a no. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing else makes any sense. So you have to forgive those that did anything against you.
I have to ask you one more question. What do you think Dr. Martin Luther King would say if he was alive today?
Wow, that's a good question right there. And I hate to know that he's gone. And but I want to try to rearrange. And I want to try to say, well, just let's imagine Martin Luther King wasn't dead. Let's imagine Martin Luther King was in a coma, which is, to me, that's more exciting to think about, that he went into a coma in 1968 rather than being killed, and he woke up in 2017. First of all, I believe he's gonna, when he spoke, "I have a dream," he might say something like, "Am I still dreaming? Am I still dreaming that people are hating people for the color of their skin rather than the content of character? Am I still dreaming? And I'm still dreaming that poverty is still rampant all over the place." So his speech will switch from "I have a dream" to "Am I still dreaming?" Because he thought his dream would be moving along right now. But if he was in a coma and woke up, he would actually probably rewrite his speech and say that "I'm having a nightmare," because these things are still relevant. He may say, "Am I still dreaming? I remember the days when we used to look at a young lady and holler, but now it seems like just because I walked past and brushed against her, it became all about dollar. Am I still dreaming? Am I still dreaming that certain people in the office that I would never think would be in office in my times? Am I still dreaming? Am I still dreaming and I'm still looking at somebody and that person reminds me of Governor George Wallace? Am I still dreaming?" So I think that's what he would say if he was in a coma and he came out of his coma today. He would say, "Am I still dreaming? Am I still dreaming?"
Speaking of Governor George Wallace, what do you think about the Africans that are being beaten and sold as slaves in Africa?
I believe we need to wake up and realize that these things are going on in our world today. And and certain, the government has certain things happening right now. They're trying to build the wall right now to keep the immigrants from going over that wall. So I say to myself, if they can build a wall to try to keep the Mexicans from coming over here, they can try to build the wall and put us back in Africa and keep us from coming over here. So they can build the wall to keep anybody out that they want to keep out. And what I say about what's going on today goes right back to what my organization is about. Stop the hate. So we need to be real here. I believe that the hate that's going on today is not new hate. It's just hate that's being resurfaced because of certain political figures. So I don't believe that it's new hate. It's just hate that says to myself, I can come out and do this now because I feel I have the permission to do this because of who I chose to be in leadership. I believe that the hate that's going on right now is the fantasy that's concocted in the mind of certain leaders that America have to live out. I believe that the wall being built is not necessarily for the reason that we may think it's for, but it's a fantasy that one man has that he want us to live out his fantasy and build that wall. It's a fantasy in one man's mind that America, because they voted certain people in, are willing to contribute to enhancing this person's fantasy, which arise from hate. So we have to eradicate the hate.
So what's your call of action for the people?
My call of action for the people is to really examine yourself. My first call of action to the people is to look at themselves morally. Look, this is just a passing place. Everybody is going to leave this place. So my call to Americans, to people, that even though you feel so good because you live, and you feel so good and you feel so hyped up, even when you have those prejudice moments, and you feel what's the word I'm looking for? Incorruptible. Like I could just say anything to anybody because I feel rejuvenated because I have life. My call to people is that life is going to end one day. And if that life is going to end, you have to consider if you did a good thing by the hate, which makes no sense at all. I can see if you hated somebody because they hurted your daughter. Or I can see if you hated somebody because they hurt your son. Or because they did something against your mother. But just to hate somebody for nothing and destroy your entire life and afterlife, in that fact, just because you don't want to let go of the hate. Weigh that. Weigh that what I'm saying to you today. Because maybe you're just looking at everything physical and you're not looking about one day you're going to be laid down to rest. And what if there's another side? What if there's other beings that's going to judge you for the hate that you had against people? You can't come back and recant it and do it all over again. So I'm telling the people out there to do it right. Make sure you do it right. Because if you don't get it right, you're going to get left. That's my message to the people. And that's what Voices Crying in the Wilderness is about.
How can we reach you for speaking engagements?
Like I said, you can reach me at voicescrying.org at our website. You can also reach me at voicescrying at gmail.com. That's voicescrying@gmail.com. And you can set up booking engagements. If you don't have, I'm not interested in a paycheck. I may take donations for my speaking engagements or whatever you have to give. But the most important thing to me is to give to you the knowledge that I have. Not what you can give to me, but what I can give to you. It's not all about the money. Peter and Paul said, silver and gold have I not, but such as I have to give, I give it to you. So my question is, what are you giving to people today? Are you giving them the positive things that you should give them? Or are you giving them the negative things that you shouldn't give them? So it's all about what I have to give to society, what I have to give to people. Whatever knowledge and wisdom that God gives me, I'm going to give that to you. And I hope that you listen to the words that I'm saying. And I really hope you examine yourself before the clock run out.
Well, I just want to say thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing more from you in the future, and I hope that we'll be seeing more videos from you real soon.
I'm sure if God spare my life as much as he will, I will give all I have to give and make more videos. And I hope you subscribe to me. And I want you to realize that if you turned it to this video, it wasn't no mistake at all. And we are voices crying for love against hate. Voices crying for love. Trump hates. And this was not a mistake that you tuned into this video. So subscribe. Give us your likes. Give us your dislikes. And we'll respond to whatever it is. And maybe you can contribute to this message. But subscribe. Tell your friends about Voices Crying in the Wilderness. Tell your friends about Prospa. And just share this video. Make sure you share this video with your friends. And the way this video is going, share them with your enemies too. You know what I'm saying? So share this with your friends and your enemies. Share them with them that love you. Share them with them that hate you. Share them with your haters. And make friends. Okay? So it's nice talking to you. And I thank God for your interview. And I hope to be